Soldiers from the Chakcharan Provincial Reconstruction Team in Gore Province meet the capital city's residents in one of their regular patrols through the streets. The PRT is well known throughout the region for their low-profile interaction with the people, mostly walking on foot without helmets due to the good security in the province. But the joint team of Lithuanian, Croatian, Ukrainian and Georgian soldiers don't take things for granted. Constantly reinforcing relations with local people and local authorities is key to keep the province stable and to further reconstruction.
From the establishment of Goa province in 2005, the Lithuanian-led provincial reconstruction team tried to retain the so-called soft approach towards all military and cooperation issues. What does this mean? First of all, in all the meetings, official and non-official, our military staff and our representatives tried to explain to the people and the government that we respect their culture and their religion. Of course, it's not just enough to say that we respect them, we need to demonstrate this respect towards the people, towards their culture.
The military aspect is only one part of the story. Chakcharan PRT has a large number of international civilians who've come here to help re-establish local institutions like education, infrastructure and law and order.
In a place like Gore, this is isolated, it's mountainous. In a lot of the districts, people are governing themselves. There are representatives from the government, mainly district governors, ANP, the police are there. You'll have prosecutors there as well. But because this country really has not had a central government for so long, those institutions have atrophied, they've kind of disappeared.
Gore is one of the poorest provinces in Afghanistan. So, as well as working with the provincial government on healthcare, education and employment, the Lithuanian government also helped to build this park, which come spring will be one of the very few green spaces in Chakcharan. Building parks and cultural centres like this, where residents can take classes in computer skills, management and English, may not seem a priority in a province where many don't have enough food. But national and international civilians alike argue that raising the quality of life in Afghanistan is about more than just basic survival.
You're correct. It's obvious that people live on what they can eat. But while this land is facing economical problems, it's also facing cultural problems. And these two economical and cultural issues are important aspects of each other. They are not to be divided. In my point of view, if we develop culture more, then it might result in economical development as well.
Chakcharan PRT also has a new Japanese civilian office, where two representatives from one of the biggest international donors to Afghanistan are trying to make sure that money gets to rural areas like Gore and not just the cities.
In Gore province, there are 630 schools, around there, 630, but less than 10% has school building. Many of the students study under the sun. Of course, during the winter time, school will be closed.
In the PRT's hospital, Lithuanian, Ukrainian and Georgian staff see dozens of locals a day, as well as heading out to more remote areas to provide medical care. What they see on the ground can also speak volumes about the hardships still suffered by people here.
First of all, these are diseases of the joints, back problems. Why do these problems occur? People do not have enough warm clothes, no shoes at all. They go barefoot over the cold ground. We see it now in winter. There are a lot of inflammatory problems, rheumatism. We treat all that. We have medication, but it's a huge social problem there.
The success of the PRT relies very heavily on good relations, not just between Afghans and ISAF, but between the nationalities that make up the team. If the support behind them is united, local Afghans can much better take the lead in their own reconstruction.
Working with the Lithuanian contingent, working with the Japanese contingent, and then even broadening out to the military contingents, to the Croatians, Georgians and Ukrainians. It's actually a part of the job that I enjoy very much. The process is not as quick as the process would be if it were only one country, one nation represented here at the PRT. But it really is an exercise on what NATO can accomplish, ISAF can accomplish.
This is Ruth Owen in Gore Province for the NATO channel.